Speaking of movies, I have this like hot take on it on movies. Maybe it's not a hot take. Maybe it's just an average take. But I watched this movie on the weekend just because I was a bit bored, and watched a movie, and it had Steve Carell in it, and of course we all know Steve Carell, Michael Scott from The Office, iconic role. I only watched The Office last year. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you'll know that. And you know what? Growing up, I was never a huge fan of Steve Carell. And now I know why. It's because I never watched The Office, so I never saw how funny he was, right? And like I had seen him in movies like Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Anchorman, of course. But I was always like, oh, who is this guy? Why does everyone love him so much? Because I hadn't watched The Office. Now, I watched this movie with him, and it was called Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. And what I realized in this moment while watching this film, what I realized about Steve Carell is that Steve Carell shouldn't do serious roles. I'm sorry, Steve. This was a relatively serious movie. It's about the world is ending. There's an apocalypse. And, you know, Steve Carell's character is looking for someone to be with when the world ends because his wife leaves him. Pretty crazy stuff. Cool. And it was a decent movie, but I'll say it again. Steve Carell should not do serious roles. I can't not see him as Michael Scott, and when he tries to do a serious movie and be like sincere and like be like, I'm a genuine actor, I can act, it's like, I'm sorry, man, but I will never not see you as Michael Scott. To me, you are just Michael Scott, or even like Evan from Bruce Almighty. That's all I see. I just see you as a funny guy, and I don't want to see you as, you know, like a serious actor. And I get that you're a good actor, but I don't want you to be a serious actor. I only want to see you be funny. I'm sorry. How much that sucks to say. That sucks. I'm sorry, Steve, if you're listening, I'm sorry. You're great. I just want to see you do comedic roles. I don't know, like he was also in that movie Crazy Stupid Love with Ryan Reynolds and Emma Stone. That was actually a pretty good movie now that I think about it. Maybe I'm wrong, because that was a reasonably serious role. I think generally I don't want Steve Carell doing serious roles, but I'm willing to let it slide sometimes. But that movie, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, come on, Steve. Like, it was okay. Did you think it was great? Like, that's me talking to Steve, by the way. Surely you couldn't have thought it was great. Like, you're not... The other thing is, it was like a romantic comedy, and the thing about Steve Carell is, like, hilarious guy, but it's like, you're not like a hunk. You're not like a Ryan Reynolds. You're not like a Hugh Grant. You're not handsome enough, and you are handsome, don't get me wrong, but you are not handsome enough to be like a genuine romantic comedy star. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm sorry I had to say it.